Well, it's been a minute. Uh, um, let's talk about NXT, I guess. Roll intro. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And welcome to another edition of HCW Show Squared, the show we take the usual format or formula of the HCW show and multiply it to the power of, you guessed it, two. That's right, I'm bringing it back. I'm your host, Dan DP, or as we all say nowadays, DPZ, yeah. And yeah, you may notice I'm not joined by anyone today. Unfortunately, Mr. Impact Craig has to go on assignment, so he's just not here. So it is what it is. I'm here though. Old reliable, old blue eyes. I don't have blue eyes. I think I have brown eyes. So I don't know what I have. I can't remember. Anyway, regardless of that though, we're here to talk about NXT. NXT for the top of March. We're on the road to Stand and Deliver, and we're just gonna dig into it really. So we kick things off straight away with the NXT Tag Team Titles #1 contendership qualifying match. That's a mouthful. The LWO, the Latino World Order, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild against OTM out the mud. Bronco Nima and Lucian Price. The battle of the acronyms. The LWO win, though, of course, with a springboard 450 splash from Joaquin Wild on Bronco Nima. I rated the match 2 3/4 stars. I'd rate it higher, but for an opening match, it was just kind of basic, and OTM brought the match quality down. They need more experience, and they're in the right place for that, absolutely. But they shouldn't have been in this match with LWO. If they'd utilised a different team perhaps for this, it would have been better. But for an opener, the match where you want excitement, you want everything to be in that first match to get the crowd going, get yourself going as a viewer, it just didn't even feel that for me. I'm glad the right team won, but yeah, overall a little bit disappointing for the opener. Backstage, Overeem and Brooks Jensen get into it in the parking lot area, and Oba seems to look to be sending a message to Josh Briggs through Brooks Jensen, but we'll see where that goes. Still backstage, Thea Hale's hanging out with Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. They want to know who Thea plans to team with because JC and Jasmine Nix are now friends and then hanging around a lot more. So the neither of them are free. And they seem to think that Thea's only friends are JC and Jasmine, which is not the case according to Thea, who's got a friend who has issues with Izzy and with Kiana. So in comes Kalani Jordan. Cool. It's a fun match. Moving on to the in-ring now. Roxanne Perez is here to cut a promo. She speaks on her actions from Roadblock. She talks about Roadblock again. She's sick of being perceived as a happy-go-lucky Roxanne who is content with averageness. She's had a lot of pent-up rage inside of her for months, sick of seeing her chances and opportunities go away to undeserving people, to other women on a roster that she's had to carry on her shoulders. She name drops Tiffany Stratton and Becky Lynch, saying that she felt betrayed by the fans because they were too obsessed with Becky coming back and with Tiffy Time, which is a great gimmick. Roxanne expects the title to be taken from Lyra Valkyria and awarded to Roxanne Perez, and she asks Ava to do this. In comes Ava with her own theme music now. She reprimands Roxanne for her actions, but Roxanne cuts her off, which leads to Ava then reprimanding Roxanne for cutting her off. But before Ava can finish her next point, of course, Tatum Paxi is here. She's in the crowd and she fights with Roxanne, and then there's a security breakup as well. And that's the end of that. Moving on. We got a vignette now. We're at the D'Angelo Family Restaurant, and they celebrate the events of Roadblock. Of course, Tony becoming #1 contender for the NXT title, and they also celebrate a new addition to the family, Luca Crucifino, who's the concierge for the family, the right hand man, who handled some things, as they call it, because it's very typical drama, very typical TV mob family. Like, hey, did you get that thing done? That's right, I got that thing done, and I got that thing done. It's a bit of nothing, it's just, you can't go into specifics because obviously it's crimes and stuff, but I don't know, I'm a bit over that. Anyway, Adriana Rizzo speaks up about, she talks to some family members in Philadelphia, and they're proud of Tony for getting as far as he has so far. They talk about Trick Williams for a little bit before they end up by Ilya Dragunov. The family leave the table and they leave just Don at the table. Ilya congratulates Tony on his actions and he congratulates how he won. He mentions also how Tony's got his finger in a lot of pies and a lot of different things. He has everything going for him, whereas Ilya only has one thing in his life. He has one focus in his life, which is the NXT title, and that is his priority. He questions will Tony be able to, maintain focus and maintain the prestige that the title demands. Tony then says that no matter what happens here, the Don likes you. And then that prompts Luca and Stax to grab it away from behind and they drag him off scene. And then the next scene cuts and they put him in the trunk of a car. What are they doing with him? Moving on. We go straight to another match from this. Lexis King versus Mr. Stone? I don't know what I missed here. Lexis King wins, of course, with the coronation. I rated half a star. It was just under 5 minutes and was an extended squash match, really. Stone did get some offense in, but it was extremely limited and served mainly as a point for Stone to get the shit kicked out of him, really. That's about it. Von Wagner comes out afterwards to help, but he stops himself of attacking Lexis, which I didn't really understand. But he carries Stone out of the arena. It's sometimes hard to remember sometimes that Mr. Stone was formerly a wrestler, as something that I'll bring up every now and then. Craig brings up every now and then. Of course, he was Robbie E, part of the Bromans in TNA. But yeah, other than that, it's kind of hard to remember he's a wrestler because of the role he's in now. Moving on, we have an interview with Oba Femi. Oba talks about Jensen and how he'll slaughter Brooks for being in his jungle. But in comes Dijak, who questions Oba's ability to as a champion. I'm fully down for a match between Dijak and Oba Femi. Down the line, I mean, maybe stand deliver, I don't know. I'm all in for these two guys having a house match. Oh. Yeah. Moving on though, to the North American title match. Oba Femi defends against Brooks Jensen. Femi wins with a powerbomb. 2 stars I rated this. It was mainly a storyline match rather than a wrestling match. It was more or less a longer version of the match before. We all knew Brooks had no chance to win this match, and that was the story. Not one of an underdog, but one of a dominating force in the ring in Oba Femi. As he looks to send a message on to Josh Briggs. Brooks barely got a look in this match. Everything with the match was just alright. It needed to be shorter in length. I appreciate Briggs being a supportive friend, but the match went on just too long. I do hope that the oncoming match with Josh Briggs is a lot better, which it should be, in all fairness. We then move on to a continuation of a vignette. The family and Tony are with Ilya on a bridge. Tony says that this was a punishment because Ilya essentially invited himself to the family restaurant without actually having an invitation to be there. They exchange typical movie lines about intimidation and power. Tony says that he's walked on this bridge many a time with someone and walked away alone, indicating that, of course, he's thrown people over the bridge and left them to die in the water. The vignette ends, though, with Tony wishing Ilya a good walk home. Good walk back, sorry. Ilya then says that he always finds a way. And it was just really dramatic. It was really over-the-top dramatic. So far, I'm not sold on this being a big-time matchup for Stand and Deliver. I still think the focus should have been on Carmelo and Trick. With Ilya being the third place in this match, but because he's the champion, that's why he's there. Moving on though, back to the ring, it's time for another match. Gigi Dolan takes on Ariana Grace. Of course, this came off of last week, where Ariana was essentially being annoying to Gigi in the locker room, and Gigi wanted to match with her, and then Ava tried to make it, and Ariana didn't want to face her, unless Gigi agreed to undergo sensitivity training, or whatever it was, if she had lost. So here we are now. And Ariana wins via DQ. When a low blow is performed on Gigi, from Gigi, after Ariana does it to Gigi. But the rest didn't see that one, so that's why it's DQ in favour of Ariana. 1.5 stars I rated this. It's very rare that I like a DQ finish, but this match, it worked. It needed to end in a fucky way, and that was exactly it. Because you couldn't have Gigi lose clean, and there was too much stake to have Ariana lose clean. So this was the best way you could have done it. And now Gigi has to accept the tutelage of Ariana to improve herself as a lady. So that should be a fun new segment thing that they do, which hopefully Gigi embraces the teachings down the line. But of course, we will see in all due time.
Hey you. Yeah, you. Do you like this video? There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me. Damn fuckers.
Backstage, Sol Ruka is talking with Karen Petrovic when Lola Vice comes in to start some shit, basically. Carmen takes the bait, and I think we're getting a match next week, or sometime in the future. Anyways, that's not the end of it, though, as Sol breaks up the animosity between the two of them, and that prompts Brindley Reese to cartwheel into the scene, where she commends Ruka on her disarming skills, and she's so hyped up for a match next week with, I'm assuming, Sol Ruka, I think. Then in comes NFA and Manic Blade to take her away. And by that, I literally mean lifting her out of the shot. While she's still talking as if it's not happening to her right there and then. I absolutely love the character of Brindley Reese. It's so energetic, so hyped. I love it. Moving on. Next match. Thea Hale and Kalani Jordan take on Kiana James and Izzy Dame. However, no they don't. Because as Kiana and Izzy make their entrance, it's revealed that Kalani Jordan has been taken out backstage and can't be Thea's partner. So it appears to be a handicap match. Until it's not. Out comes Fallon Henley to support Thea Hale against Kiana James and Izzy Dame. And now we have an actual tag match on our hands, which is what I predicted last week. I think I said it. I definitely Fallon Henley. I'm not sure what Craig said. Kiana and Izzy win following a bankrupt to Thea, following a kick to Thea from Izzy on the outside, which was instrumented by JC, who pulled Fallon out of the way, so Thea would be in the firing line. 2.5 stars, of course. This was a actual match. I'm surprised because this week's episode has been so heavily based on storylines that I'm glad we got an actual match out of the women's division here. The match wasn't anything special, but it delivered further on the characters of Thea and Kiana. Kiana had a high ceiling with her character work. Izzy needs some work, but she just feels like hired muscle at this point, which is kind of the role she plays anyway, so it works out fine for her. And Fallon Henley, unfortunately, is just sort of lost in the shuffle right now. She's relegated to the backup in case she's needed for something else. Because she was on a high. She beat Tiffany Stratton, Tiffany was on the ranch for a day, and then she did not do much else. And that was it. She was in the Iron Survivor as well. Nothing came of that. It's just been low sailing for her right now, which is a shame because she's one of the better people on that roster. But yeah, Kiana wins and adds to her portfolio of wins, I guess. After the match, though, Thea cuts a promo on JC and Jasmine, who are here now, by the way, and basically confirmed that we've all known for a little bit now, that Thea had fooled herself into being someone who's more like JC because she idolized JC. And now that JC's hanging out with someone else now, she finally sees who JC actually is, which is someone who's much more rotten than her. And she's renouncing the new Thea Hale, the new and improved Thea Hale, as she calls it, and reverting back to the old Thea Hale. She runs around the ring, throwing up the Chase U symbol, and that's that. The old Thea Hale is back. Backstage, of course, Riley Osborne loves this, but he has an encounter with the No Quarter Catch crew, who teases a future Heritage Cup trophy match with Riley under the catch clause. But in comes Nathan Frazier and Axiom, who offer a helping hand should Riley need it. There is a line where Axiom says that if they need backup, he's very close friends with the guy who was the first holder of the trophy, which, for those who don't know, was A-Kid, who that was the former alias of Axiom. So A-Kid was A-Kid, and then A-Kid put the mask on and became Axiom. So I thought that was quite fun. Backstage, the Good Brothers are here, and they confirm that there'll be a tag title qualifier match against Hank Walker and Tank Ledger, and they look to win the tag titles. Hank and Tank, though, are watching the promo on a TV screen backstage, and they're hyped up for the match. In comes the Wolf Dogs, who talk to Hank and Tank, and it's just a final segment between the pair of them. If you find it and watch it, I recommend it. It's quite fun. Main event time. Ridge Holland is on Sean Spears. Sean Spears wins a C4 on a chair. 2.5 stars. Similar boat to the tag match before this as well. It was a storyline match with Ridge dealing most of the offense. Sean goaded him into doing more until the point of the break where Sean took advantage. The match was alright and the wrestling was fine, but the story was the main thing letting us down. Oh, and Ridge, actually, yeah. I'm just not a fan of Ridge. Sean seems to be having fun with it, though, with the story, trying to get Ridge to be more ruthless and unleash his inner rage. But Ridge is seemingly avoiding that for now. I'm sure there'll be more matches down the line between these two. Probably on TV. I don't see this being a stand deliver match. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, it's time now for the final part of the show. It's Trick Willie. Trick Williams is here. He's back. He's back on the show. He's here to talk. Trick's trying to find the words he wants to say. He's pissed off and angry. He feels betrayed. Family means nothing to him. Loyalty means something to him. He's feeling let down by Carmelo, his brother, who he feels stabbed him in the back. The rest of the promo is mainly just him hot dogging the crowd and set out a match with Carmelo stand and deliver. But in comes Metaphor. Noam Dar, Ora Mensa, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend. Noam's here to talk about himself and big himself up. He talks about Trick's rising star, but that Noam star is bigger and is shooting off. Supernova, Scottish Supernova, yeah, that. Noam teases a match with Trick soon, and so he and Oro attempt to attack Trick. Trick avoids this though, and Lash even tries her hand, slapping Trick, but Trick catches it, and then has Lash in a, how do I word it? A provocative position, is how I word it. And then in a weird turn of events, Lash proceeds to kiss Trick. Very odd. Is it mind games? I don't know. Very odd, but a surprising moment nonetheless, and Trick clears house once again, with Metaphor in tow. No to complete confusion, as are the rest of the crowd and the audience watching at home. We're all very confused by this happening. So that was the end of NXT, and that was NXT. My thoughts on the episode. It was storyline heavy. More in favour of storyline than matches, which is fine, but it also feels like a lot of times being fast forwarded or being rushed, because we're in stand deliver season now. The storyline with Shawn and Ridge feels rushed. The Lexus and Wagner story feels the same way. Even the Ilya D'Angelo story feels that way as well. They only have 4 weeks to try and build meaningful reasoning behind matches. There's only 2 matches that are not confirmed as of yet, but they are confirmed sort of in the head canon of fans for Stand Deliver, which is obviously Carmelo. That's been an ongoing story for the last 2 years. And of course Lyra and Roxanne, who has that story as well, building, coming as well. Both should be great matches, and rightfully so. They've had their builds, and they're going to explode at the PLE. The other matches that I feel are going to be there are going to feel a bit more makeshift. So obviously you've got the tag title stuff that's being done in a tournament 3-way triple threat contention thing. Boring, lazy. You've got North American title, which is being handed out apparently to people. So Femi's gonna fight Dijak soon, and Josh Briggs soon, which good matches, but just feel a little bit random. And then also there'll be an additional 1 or 2 non-title matches as well, which I could see. I don't know, probably Ridge and Sean Spears, ironically enough. They'll probably be there, but other than that, there's not much else to look forward to. NXT need to keep the storylines going and keep them flowing as well. But that is at the cost of having a good wrestling show. The episode was fine. It continued to focus more on storylines and such. And if you do that, you'll see a decrease in not only my attention span as a reviewer, but also a decrease in the numbers of audiences. Strong points, of course, on the show were the Roxanne promo and, ironically, the Gigi Ariana match. Outside of that, the rest of it was pretty average. And yeah, that brings NXT to an end. That brings this review to an end. Of course, after this week's edition, you'll be seeing a different layout of the show. This purple-white thing is no more. Everything's going to look different. You'll see how it goes on Tuesday with Rachel's video of Alex Connors. That's already the start. We've got our 2-year anniversary video, which goes out tomorrow. And yeah, that's all for me, really. I've been Dan, DP, DeBreezy. I'm sorry, I'm going to say, Um, on our YouTube, please like the video, please share the video, please subscribe to the channel. Every little thing helps. In regards to our readers, well, above my head here, so we have our Twitch, our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Facebook. Ignore Threads, that's not meant to be there, but that's the last time we were seeing Threads on the graphics, so do with that what you will. But other than that, also, if you're so inclined, please do follow me on my own Twitter, which is Breezy, which is just down there. And yeah, other than that, I've been Dan, DP, the Breezy, and I'm bidding you adieu on this Sunday morning. Bye.